what do you think is the most important event in the industry, in your opinion? Have I missed anything?
Well, yeah, it was a good. You gave a good all around of what happened. It's hard to actually put an exact like what was that big moment. I mean, some could say the president of the United States launching a meme token, right? Gee, but I think there was. We did see a dominance of derivatives, right? You had like hyper liquid, get into the top 10 of coin market cap. I remember when I was um, at Consensus, seeing all the new protocols saying, 1000x with perpetual trading, and so I think that was kind of an interesting push where we saw like derivatives kind of like really jump up there. I also felt, as a DeFi, I also felt there's you could UX implements sort of the on DEXs on decentralized finance areas. So see like less. I think I would almost want to say like aspects of DeFi and DEXs are becoming even more friendlier than centralized exchanges. But I guess with all that, especially with the derivatives, there's risks involved. Like you said, when you have a lot of trading that way, you're going to have times in the market where things.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was a crazy time. I think, especially for the perp dexes. After a perp dex trend, and after a lot of people were drawn into perp trading, it's been, yeah, quite an industry shaping moment, I would say. And Novis, I think you're here with us today. Finally, could you please introduce the project and what do you guys do in the industry?
Yeah, hey everyone. Thanks for having me here. Thanks everyone for joining. And spaces are being spaces again. This is Vitaly. I'm in charge of BDM partnerships at Nomis. We are building on-chain reputation and scoring protocol for like Web3. We started as a DeFi credit score idea with Hackathon MVP. We wanted to enable DeFi lending and borrowing protocols, allow the end users to get like undercollateralized loans as we have in traditional finance, right? Then we pushed this idea further. Post hackathon, we got grants from Solana Foundation and AIF to push the idea further. Then the bear happened, and we slightly pivoted into the pretty much same what we built right now. So we fetch as many on-chain data points as possible from blockchain around your wallet address to assign it a reputation score from 0 to 100, representing your on-chain reputation. So we're trying to quantify this thing. So we help users to get a broader picture of the on-chain journey, get some insights about the wallet address, track the like on-chain traction, and so on and so on. On the other side, we help Web3 projects to protect their communities from spam bots, Sibyl attackers, and so on and so on, and also identify genuine contributors within their communities. We are working with tier 1 DeFi protocols across like blockchains, including like top EVM layer 2s, Tone blockchain, Solana, and so on and so on. So yeah, great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here, Vitaly. And I think you guys can give some powerful insights as well, since you overview the data in its masses and from different points of view, right? So I think would be great to hear your opinion on, let's say, the most important events that happened in crypto trading industry this year.
Yeah, I think you guys already covered the most like important let's say, milestones in DeFi, but I'm not so into trading, to be honest. So I can highlight the how, let's say, PrettyG and airdrop and quest campaigns pivoted from like tracking just on-chain metrics to like info-fi meta, like when Kaita Yappers, Cookies.fun, like Galaxy Starboard appeared, and all the PrettyG campaigns and quests pivoted to tracking user, let's say, social activity across social media, including Twitter and others. And that's quite interesting. And this is our, I would say, current focus, because we were always like around quest campaigns and airdrops and PrettyG campaigns as well, because this is where we can help every leaders most with our like on-chain analytics stuff. And that's interesting because the idea I have is that on-chain contribution is super important for every like DeFi protocol. And if you're in a test net, you want like your users to contribute like with on-chain actions, testing out your the apps and so on and so on, or maybe some features if you just the app yourself and so on. So, but the problem is that you cannot easily share your on-chain action. Let's say you performed a swap or bridged your asset from one chain to another, and how do your like friends and colleagues and peers know about that? That's that's not so simple to share this, let's say, action with your like peers. But when you asking users to post about your project, to like do engage with other like the broader community, do comment, do react to the posts and so on and so on, it's like easily going viral, and you can like get a broader reach, get more attention to your project, and so on and so on. And you can also protect your community from low quality engagement as well. And that's quite interesting. I love how like fast this meta, like this like narrative became like mass market this year, and it's super cool. I love the idea. I love the like underlying narrative, and I believe in 2026 we will be seeing more campaigns where we have both like social media tracking plus on-chain tracking as well. So where you could be asked by a like PrettyG project to complete not only on-chain actions or like perform to the Kaita Yappers leaderboard or something, but you could also, but you will be asked to perform both. So that's interesting, and I love this particular meta that appeared this year. Um, yep.
Okay, yeah, no, that's definitely interesting, man. I think, yeah, since you guys check the metrics and pull up data from so many different blockchains, do you guys see how events in this year raised the activity on the blockchain as well? Like the whole activity in Web3.
Um, I would say there were like several spikes during the year. Um, I remember last year we did a like a research with our partners, and we discovered that we researched a few like, let's say, overhyped TG campaigns, and we discovered that up to 80% of like pre-TG campaigns are like literally bots, or like Sibyl attackers, or like clusters that trying to drain this particular project and the token, and like get it wrecked right after the launch. And this year we've been seeing, taking into account the like InfoFi meta as well. We did one more research in the end of this year, and we seen that there are like much smaller number of like clusters participating in like overhyped or like regular PrettyG campaigns and quests. That's interesting, and we see much more like genuine contribution to both like blockchain and crypto Twitter as well. And yeah, I guess that's a pretty interesting trend. Um, it's could be controversial because we also see how like AI driven tools are like hyping as well. And taking into account this, you could imagine that generating like content or like actions became easier, right? But um, having a real data from blockchain, we see that uh, there is a spike of like genuine contributions to both like blockchain and social and crypto Twitter as well. So that's pretty interesting, and we should definitely dive deeper into this one to get more insights how it works.
100%. Yeah, I think that was exactly what I was going to ask next. Actually, just to dive a bit deeper into new features, products, and trends that we've seen coming this year. I think, yeah, it's definitely brought us a lot of new products like AI. It's basically became a necessity in trading, and I think it's going to be adopted much more by projects, by users in 2026. But also, of course, we've seen a lot of new products like the Telegram NFTs through gifts, right? We've seen just many more derivatives dexes coming up. We've seen prediction markets exploding in 2025. And yeah, just curious, what do you guys think of the trends that are, let's say, coming up, going to stay, and the ones that are dying, maybe like meme coins tanking in recent months? I think StoneFi, you're probably out there in the middle of it all. Would be great to hear your opinion. Are you here with us, Ethan? Okay. No, it's all right. Let's see. Let's see if actually, guys, I see a lot of people requesting the mics. I think you could actually drop the questions or anything you want us to, let's say, review or give an opinion on in the comments, and we will actually reward um, all worthy comments worthy of attention to with um, $5 in turbo credits that you can actually use on the platform on Trador. And let's invite StoneFi to speak again. I think they're joining now. Yes. Okay. Ethan, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm back. I had some connection issues.
Yeah, it happens recently on X. It's acting super weird when it comes to spaces. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about the new features, new products, new trends, maybe dying trends as well. Like you guys probably see meme coins kind of dipping in trading volumes, right?
Hmm.
As swap decks. Yeah, probably maybe you guys are considering implementing AI as well as we do. And yeah, just curious, what do you guys think of the new that's coming, new stuff being adopted?
New stuff being adopted. Yeah, so like you're saying, I think when it comes to AI, I was having actually even better hopes for it in 2025, but it looked at more being used sort of in the background as part of the infrastructure. Um, like I remember though, there was some teams trying to having protocols where you could have an agent and you would request the agent to do specific DeFi strategies for you, but I never really came across something that actually launched and worked. And so I think that could be very interesting, something we could see in 2026. But I know, especially, I know with like OmniChain, that is something that was kind of like popping up in the like starting of this year, where you saw more and more projects sort of developing different cross-chain approaches. I think we could see, I think for sure in 2026, we'll probably see more of that. I know even with StonFi, we're building our own cross chain that uses our, a source chain. There's no intermediate chain or, using third parties like Stargate. So I could see these type, even something more advanced that you can see now with like near intents could be on the horizon. But yeah, if I didn't go off topic there, kind of just what going into my head right now. What,
I
Joe?
think you guys are also developing the X stocks, right? And
Oh yeah,
are getting more into RWAs, right?
yeah, that's a good call, and that was also actually quite a strong theme. Yeah, we at StonFi we recently launched X stocks. You actually can now trade X stocks even on Telegram wallet. That uses currently an escrow contract coming from StonFi. Um, and yeah, X stocks is quite interesting because I can see institutional investors being very interested in RWAs because DeFi strategies can create pretty good yield, even higher yield when you look at traditional finance. Like if you look at Robinhood, right? You can buy Nvidia, get dividends. However, think of if Robinhood had pools, right? Like in DeFi and decentralized finance, have pools, and then you could earn yield by putting, Nvidia and USDT. And so that's like an extra added yield layer. And then there's, you can do the lending mechanisms from lending protocols to increase that. Obviously, that will increase your risk, but it comes very interesting of the different yield strategies you'll be able to do with DeFi for RWAs. So I can definitely see X stocks. I know there's other protocols that have launch types of the stocks as well. But this could, in the next few years, maybe really bring more adoption just because, right now, there's us retail investors can't add this liquidity to Robinhood for these trades, right? But you can do that in DeFi, so it's quite unique there.
Yeah, 100%. I think the RWAs just in general, like together with stablecoins, grew as a market. I think like 50% from 2024 overall. Yeah, it's a crazy increase, and looking forward, probably might consider doing something on that as well, on that side as well. But yeah, what you mentioned actually before is the how you don't see any AI products working, right? Or doing anything good in the industry so far, while being a massive trend. I remember I've seen the statistics that the AI is one of the only trends that is actually still
Hmm.
growing and still being green by this time of the year,
Well,
when it comes like to comparing to, let's say, January
hmm
2025. Yeah, but
well, it's interesting.
yeah, it's yeah.
Today,
Go
like for
ahead.
example, today because I'm DevRel, I was experimenting with our documentation using Lovable AI, and so today, pretty quickly, using AI, I built using our documentation a X stocks only buying and trading platform. You know, and this is just prompting AI, having it take our doc specifically. I mean, the ability right now to build in DeFi using third party infrastructure, obviously, build using AI to build a contract, I would say is quite risky. But the speed of building right now, anyone can, kind of create their own DeFi concepts using third-party protocols to integrate directly, just like for example, just from Lovable AI. So AI is quite awesome when it comes to that, right? When it's like building your own product or infrastructure.
100%. But even with trading, right? We've already seen some trading competitions of AI agents, different AI models, and yeah, some of them remain profitable over quite long periods of time. And I think just in general, when it comes to trading and interacting with a lot of DeFi protocols, there are like too many manual actions that are just plain annoying to actually do by hand. So yeah, that's one of the reasons we are building an AI
Hmm.
assistant. It's for micro managing the
Hmm.
trades or basically getting like complex DeFi strategies done by an AI assistant without you having to look at the charts all the time or open and close a lot of positions. Like for example, like arbitrage or some things
Hmm.
that could be automatic, like hedging. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of this stuff is less of let's say creative or um, an interesting process to be doing by
Hmm.
yourself. So yeah, we definitely see a potential, and we want to release the AI assistant in Q1 26 for exactly this reason. Yeah.
Cool.
Vitali from Nomis, yeah, you've shared quite a lot on the product side as well, like the new products that you see coming up in 2026. And any other trends you see from your perspective as somebody who pulls up a lot of data, analyzes all of the different protocols, connects a lot of the different protocols under Nomis?
Yeah, sure. I hope it will be possible in 2026 to have your smart contract written by AI, like completely. I believe it could be fun. We will be having a lot of AI swap in like taken on chain in 2026 if it happens. But it could be like super fun, and I believe we will be seeing a lot of like new interesting approaches, maybe in DeFi, maybe some like new core primitives as well. It could be super fun. And second one, I also love the prediction market meta. I believe the 2026 will be taken by prediction market beyond like just DeFi, and the core like narrative and prediction in the second like half of this year. I guess some teams were focusing on building permissionless prediction markets. It's all about like the idea of um, let's say democratization and liberation of like particular verticals, like how Pump Fund liberated, let's say, meme trading. Some teams try to build a permissionless prediction markets for like communities so they can create their own prediction markets for like events they like and decide what rules this particular market should follow and how it could be resolved and so on and so on. That's super interesting as well. I'm not sure that some of these teams will find a like broader adoption because having a permissionless market leads you to like have a lot of, let's say, noise on your platform. And yeah, the second problem is that you have to like launch your own platform because you don't have an initial distribution, I would say. But if you, for example, X, Twitter, or Telegram, or maybe centralized exchange, you can easily launch prediction markets right in your like existing interface and have like distribution advantage from day one. But how the new platforms will be having like new audience, what like specific features they should implement, I'm not sure like how it will look like. So let's see. I also love the like AI trading competition idea. Um, there were like a few interesting experiments this year. Um, I guess they all resulted in like AI just like got wrecked and lost all the money, if I'm not mistaken. But it's super interesting how the models will be better in this exercise as well. So yeah, that's the trends I'm personally looking like around.
Yeah, I remember there were a few competitions where they only had like maybe 5% of the models that are actually consistent in being profitable. And some of them, I think it was like, Chinese models, if I'm correct. Yeah, but it still happens. It is possible. And yeah, prediction markets trend is 100% a big thing. And actually, we at Trader think that, after a perp Texas trend, after the prediction markets got to be booming, there has to be a place for options, mass adoption as well. Because if you take some options, pretty much, if you take options and compare them to some prediction markets, they're basically the same thing. It's just like a prediction of a specific outcome, for example, a price of the token growing over a limited period of time. And it's some of them are literally same to what we offer at Trador. And we hope that at some point, more people can actually get into options trading. More people can actually um, let's say, pave the way for institutions as well to get into decentralized options. And that's, I guess, what we are building at Trador, the mission that we have. And I mean, that's great. I think we covered like what AI prediction markets, InfoFi, RWAs, X stocks. Yeah, it's solid
Yeah.
trends, 100%. I think yeah. Still, the question in my mind is: do you think meme coins are dead or not? Is there still a place for meme coins in this industry? I think they uh, dipped like 70% in total market cap from late 2024, right? Which is uh, like a big drop for meme coin industry, especially when everybody expected meme cycle. So yeah, what do you guys think? Are meme coins coming back, or everything goes more professional?
I think it comes back. I feel like we're repeating history, like of different times, in the last since like 2017, where I remember hearing people, oh, memes are done, right? When NFT hypes, the NFT meme hypes happened then. And then it went collapsed. Everyone was saying the same thing. Oh, it's done. Memes won't be around. But in the end, people like to gamble, right? On these meme topics, and so I personally see it's always a cycle when it comes to memes, and we're just not in that cycle right now.
Yep, happens. I mean, it's definitely a market for a specific kind of traders, and I think it's just, well, it's the gambly side of human behavior. It doesn't go anywhere. I think it's still gonna be there. The fun community side of humanity, it's still gonna be there. So yeah, we'll still see meme coins coming back.
And
Yeah.
jumping on your option, like with you, I thought it was really smart with you guys going with decentralized options, because it still gives that gambling feeling, but there's less risk involved, right? Especially with your price prediction if it goes down. So I think it's a good trend that you're moving towards with Trudor in that direction, especially after the second half of this year when the liquidation happened with perp dexes. So I can see now more people definitely going into option trading in 2026 for sure, just because they experienced
Yes.
that
Yeah.
that downfall in the second half of this year, with trading on with perps. So um, that seems, yeah, smart move on your part with Trodor.
Thank you, man. Yeah, appreciate. 100%. It was, well. Yeah. You don't need to micromanage positions. You don't need to. You already know, and let's say confirm the maximum risk while when you actually get into the trade. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting product as an alternative to perps, while actually being kind of a similar instrument. And yeah, it's also interesting to let people profit from different types of options. Like for example, we have the DNT options on Trador. Now it's kind of like called a flat options. Yeah, basically you profit from flat markets, and if the price doesn't go above or below the limits from your entry price within a specific amount of time, then you actually get a profitable option contract. And yeah, it's interesting how there are so many option types for different strategies. So yeah, we're looking forward to continuing to build, and especially now with V4 release on our side, it's just so much easier for people who never traded options to get into it, because there is just no let's say vocabulary barrier. And maybe that's also one of the trends that we should have mentioned. You know, like there are probably going to be many more protocols that kind of try to abstract the whole concept of blockchain and Web3 and DeFi, and just and complex terms, complex processes from the user. So yeah, I guess simplified DeFi is definitely a trend as well.
And also with the concentrated liquidity during that moment when the market went down, you had a lot of people out of range, and so I'm predicting that we may, from that alone, Dex is really looking at a new type of version of concentrated liquidity that maybe can prevent that. I know at StonFi we're working on something like that, and I wouldn't be surprised that we may see some type of new innovation with DEX pools that can still, give you a higher yield that concentrated liquidity did, but with less risk with impermanent loss, right? Because that affect, I know it affected a lot of people, not even just perpetual trading, but who are holding in pools on concentrated liquidity, right? Because once it goes out of range, and if the token pair drop drastically, you're selling at a loss if you want to put back in the pool. So that's another thing to look at too.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I guess maybe this transitions well into the last question. Basically, lessons for users and projects. For users in general, maybe for traders, maybe for builders, what should we like? What key lessons that actually stood out for you guys from this year, and maybe something that you could like advice that you could give for the audience, for builders as well. Any predictions maybe for 2026 that everybody some yeah, the harsh leverage lessons from October especially. And yeah, we've seen like unpredictable cycles and patterns in the market. So I guess yeah, anything you think projects or users should pay attention to or should learn from this year. Maybe Vitali from Nomis, would be great to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I have only one in mind right now. So the core advice is, if you're about to build something in DeFi or like in broader Web3, whatever, please do focus on the simple idea that you should build a product that people really want to use. Like, not because you are offering them like some tokens at your TG or something, but because your like project delivers real utility to end users or to developers or whatever. That's pretty simple, but every year we've seen like a hell lot of products who that just build for like, let's say, value extraction from like end users, with this like different like VC schemes and so on and so on. So I believe this is a great time to build some interesting, um, let's say, building blocks, including DeFi and all the interesting features that Trezor team are working on right now. We should build as many like DeFi primitives as possible for the times when AI will be like finally able to build and manage our portfolios that match our interest, that match our risk profiles, and so on and so on. Because having like as many uh, such building blocks, I believe this is the best thing that we could um, build before like AGI or something, because I think AI is sharper and it gets like market better in the near future, and we should be prepared. We should build tools and instruments for it to get a broader picture of what's going on, of like different contexts of how it should like what actions it should took in like different contexts and so on and so on. And yeah, I believe focusing on building like primitives that people could use right now is a great thing, but also focusing on the primitives that AI like will be taken into account when building someone's portfolio. It could be also super like helpful in the future.
Yes, for sure. Ethan, anything to add on this?
Yeah, you said it there. I guess I guess at the very end here, we saw maybe like risk management like consistently outperformed aggressive positioning. So that's kind of like my DeFi strategy. I'm not. I'm being more simple with staking with validators, right? Being very conservative. I think that's kind of still a smart approach to be right now. Um, so yeah, I guess that would be lessons learned. Not being too over aggressing with looping strategies. Um, do option trading right with Trezor. That's is definitely even spot margin trading is also a good approach too. It's less risk. Um, so um, I still feel like we're in that now. I don't know. We're definitely in a bear market. So the question is, is this going to last a year? Is it going to last 2 years? Or is this, is 2026 going to be when we get out of it? But we can look at trends of how these bear markets have happened. But I guess, yeah, I guess that would be lessons learned to have been more conservative, right?
Definitely, yeah. The bear market take is actually interesting because yeah, so many analysts, so many different media channels, that nobody agrees on this topic. I've seen that everybody's a bit more bullish actually right now than they are bearish, but at the same time, yeah, it's kind of scary. It is unpredictable right now. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess it's been a great panel, and I appreciate you guys for sharing the insights from your side, and I think there's been a few questions that are actually interesting. For example, mm, yeah, there is one on managing leverage, but actually we kind of like answered it already. I think there was another one which was directed at StoneFi. And do you see X stocks becoming a bridge between TradFi and DeFi on Ton? And what's the next big milestone for adoption? Yeah, by Bash. Uh, Ethan, what do you think?
Yeah,
Is this an yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you look at X stocks is definitely a gray area in this, because now what's amazing about it is now you everyone, wherever, it doesn't matter what country you're in, you can get access to this, right? It's decentralized, so I think it's gonna. I'm hyped about it. I think it's gonna have a big impact. I don't think you're gonna see a massive growth tomorrow, but I see it like slowly gaining steam. Even personally, me as a DeFi trader, accessing this as part of my portfolio. It feels safer. We never know if we're all in one big bubble, right? The U.S. stock market is in one big bubble. We don't know. I think what was it? Even Musk like a week ago like announce he thinks it's going to be like a decade of growth, right? Or he was doubling. I think it was AI growth would double this year. Something like that. But with the access of like using Wallet on Telegram to now be able to buy stock X stocks, you can also just go to StonFi, purchase that. Like right now, we only have one pool on X stocks, and that's the S&P 500. Because right now we use a resolver. So this is basically an OTC provider right now that supports the swaps, and we're adding more OTC providers for this. But it's going to evolve because any user can add a pool of any of these stocks, and I can see that when pools start gaining more traction, especially with StonFi, we're going to then see like protocols like Ava, Affluent, that are lending protocols to start actually leveraging that. We'll start seeing more people earning yield, and part of it too. I know the dividends is going to be paid out. I know that's through Wallet, so dividends are paid out through these X stocks. I don't know how they're doing it in the background, but I mean that's even unique. So think about that. You have the opportunity to get the dividends from these stocks, and then you can add to a pool for yield in the future. Right now, it's only possible with the S&P 500, but I see this. I see this growing, and maybe there's going to be new concepts around. Like I kind of want to, like I think of people. I believe like people in Russia have no access right now, right, to X stocks, or I mean to stocks in general. And so this just kind of opens the doors to a lot of people. So yeah, I'm very bullish on that.
Yes, yes, yes. It's definitely interesting. I remember reading about how they pay out dividends in X stocks, and it's a different mechanism. It's a bit. I think, yeah, it's a bit complicated, but it's interesting to explore. I think everybody can actually go to Telegram Wallet. I remember reading it at there, Telegram Wallet, Wallet News channel, and they break it down quite well on how the dividends on X stocks are paid out. Good read, yeah, if you're interested in the RWAs. And yeah, I'm, to be honest, I think it definitely, like RWAs, stable coins, X stocks, like all of this is going to bring more people into DeFi after they come from TradFi. Like it just makes sense. Like first you go into something familiar, you kind of like slowly go outside of your comfort zone, and then you dive into DeFi on a mass scale, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting product, and I guess for for me, yeah, Ethan, if you want to add something, please do. But
Well,
for me,
mhm.
yeah, it's been a great panel, and yeah, just want to thank you guys for coming and wrapping up this year, talking about trends, metrics, new products, what's coming in 2026. Yeah, if you got any wishes, maybe New Year wishes for the audience, please feel free to say some.
No, I did want to add about what you were saying with Xbox, the regulatory framework, right? You had the Genius Act come out, so I think that's going to get more and more clear too. For when that also happens and becomes more clear, there's going to be, like you said, that transition where people from Trade5 like, hey, why don't I access my same stocks but in DeFi, right? Um, but yeah, I guess happy holidays, everyone. I hope that you guys all have a good New Year's. And thanks again, Lev, for inviting me on here.
Thank you, Ethan, for coming, and yeah, great insights from StoneFi side. Vitali, do you have any wishes for the audience or any last words before we wrap up?
Yeah, sure.